Hi E9s, this is just a video that is going to show you how you can go about analysing a film trailer for your next assessment task. So this is combining everything that we have learnt about genre conventions, form conventions, symbolic codes, technical codes, all that kind of stuff into one thing, which is what you are required to do for your next assessment task. I'm using Screencast-O-Matic to record this video, and this is something that is definitely available to you to be able to do your own analysis on. It's a program that you can download and install fairly easily, I think. But there are also some other options as to how you go about presenting your analysis, and the task sheet outlines the different ways that you can go about doing that. But this one is using Screencast-O-Matic, and I'm going to play through the trailer for Alien and talk you through an analysis of the trailer for Alien. I also have a transcript of what I'm saying here up for you to use on Google Classroom as well, so you can definitely refer back to that as well. But let's get into it. Okay, so the trailer for Alien, which was made in 1979, is opening with an establishing shot here of outer space, and we're kind of tracking through outer space, and it's immediately providing context and illustrating the film's setting to us, and it also setting up that kind of eerie, scary tone. And the long duration of this shot, in conjunction with this eerie sound of wind that we've got going on here, is highlighting the vast emptiness of this setting and generating a feeling of isolation in us as audience members. Okay, so as the title of the film is appearing really slowly here, you can hear a whining sound that's starting, and it's becoming more and more intense, and it's building that anticipation. And in conjunction with this, we have the non-diegetic sound of a heart beating quickly, which is signifying that sense of growing fear and anticipation. And this is further heightened as we see the camera tilting down to reveal an egg in close-up. And the audience here are positioned to feel a sense of foreboding as to what might be inside this egg. Okay, so a jump scare was just used there as the egg loudly cracks, a diegetic sound there, and a bright light shines through, and that frightens the audience, and it confirms that they should be fearing whatever is about to emerge from that egg. And the inclusion of a convention of a jump scare, so early on in this trailer, also helps to convey to the audience that this film is going to fall into the horror genre. Okay, so we can see that the pace of editing is becoming quicker here, and our non-diegetic sound effects are becoming more intense, including that racing heartbeat, a sonar beeping, and a woman's scream that's repeated over and over. And simultaneously, there's this series of fast-paced shots that are filmed with a shaky handheld camera, showing people running through these dark, narrow corridors with flashing orange lights, signifying that there is an emergency occurring. And throughout this section, the shots are mainly lit with low-key lighting, And the use of these techniques immerses the audience in the action and creates a sense of entrapment and generates the assumption that the audience or that the people must be running away from whatever is inside the egg. And the most frequent shot you'll see throughout this section of the trailer is a medium close-up shot of a young woman who is leading the group running through the corridor. And this suggests that she will be the protagonist of this story. Okay, so here the trailer is reaching its climax and the pace quickens even more. So the edits and the sound effects are now so fast and intense that the audience feels disoriented, much like the characters who are shown in close-up predominantly, with expressions of confusion and pain and fear. And in amongst this, there are also some quick close-up shots of a cat growing more and more agitated, eventually screeching in agony, contributing to this sense of utter chaos. And the audience is positioned here to understand through the symbolic code of acting and the technical codes of editing and sound that the characters are really not in control of their situation and that they are fighting for their survival, most likely against an extraterrestrial threat, most likely out of whatever emerged from that egg at the start of the trailer. Okay, so suddenly the chaos stops and we are left in complete silence on a shot of outer space here, which is reminiscent of the opening of the trailer where we had that establishing extreme long shot. And the film's tagline appears here, which is a form convention, and it says, "In space, no one can hear you scream." And like in the opening of the trailer, the audience is left feeling isolated, with the understanding that the characters are in a position where nobody is coming to help them. And this conclusion presents two apparent narrative possibilities: that either the humans will survive and escape that extraterrestrial threat, or they will not survive. So that's how you would go about doing an analysis of a trailer for this assessment task. So in this analysis, I've spoken a bit about genre conventions, so how we knew that this was a horror trailer. I've spoken about form conventions, so things that we generally see when we watch a trailer. And I've spoken a lot about our different codes, so our technical codes such as sound and editing and camera and lighting, and our symbolic codes such as acting, such as setting and mise-en-scène. So those are the things that you need to address in your own analysis, and you also need to ensure that you are using the right media terminology as you were addressing this. But referring back to the task sheet and also referring to the transcript of this video are a good place to start in figuring out what you need to do for this assessment task. And as always, if you have any questions, get in contact with myself or Mr. Alamo.